There it is. So, had another week. Another week of thinking about scripts and doing a whole lot of other things. And today what I want to talk about is I'm not going to talk about it, I'm just going to do it. Jefferson and Darce gave me an assignment to help me with adult dialogue, because one of the notes I took a week ago was, I suck at adult dialogue. Now, why is that? I've had a lot of time to ponder, and I think I told my wife, I suck at adult dialogue. And she said, well, that's not surprising. I'm like, oh, thanks. She said, well, you just have an interesting pattern of speech. So, okay, maybe I have an interesting pattern of speech. That's quite possible. But I don't really think that's my problem. I think my problem is that I'm not really making it real. I'm trying to keep it kosher. That's not really it, but it's like there's no substance. It's not the language of real people. So Darce gave me this suggestion that I should write the dialogue, just go ahead and write the script, and then come back through the dialogue and write what each character really means by what they're saying. The theory being that adults use a lot of subtext and innuendo, and they're not really saying what they mean exactly. They're hinting at what they mean. So that's what I'm going to do, and I think I've got a screen recording running. I sure hope so. If not, this won't be very amazing. So I'm going to read what I have here right now. The setup for this scene is that Kent Fernsby was in his office finishing a work day with an annoying client. Not that they're horribly annoying, but they're telling him stuff he doesn't really need to hear because he already knows it. And so he's not loving it, and then hangs up and realizes nobody's in the office, and he switches to his hacker alter ego. Now, I haven't finished writing this scene. I mean, I have it, but I don't like it yet. It's still a lousy scene. But what's going to happen in it is going to happen, I think. So he ends up dropping into his little hacker world, and don't look at me demeaning him. It's serious stuff. It's like he's tracking internet rumors and fighting the false ones, and finding the right place to send information regarding the true ones. And in the course of doing this, he picks up that there's this new virus. Again, it's not coronavirus, it's MERS 2. There's not really a MERS 2, there's just the MERS 1 currently. And it seems that there's a government cover-up. So he's kind of getting some of these ideas. So this next scene happens after he leaves the office. He's been in his I gotta stop demeaning the poor guy. He's been in his hacker alter ego. He loves it. He feels special and useful to the world. And so he's off doing that thing. And then his alarm goes off. He's got to go. So he jumps in the car, and he's thinking, what in the world's going on? Because usually his hacking is a way of exerting power in the world without it really affecting him. It's secretive. He doesn't reveal his alter ego to anyone. His wife does know about it, at least in the current conceptualization. She knows his secret, but nobody else really does. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, but none of the people he regularly has acquaintance with know. So he's got this idea of this. Is there a government cover-up of this horrible virus? What's going on? There's something here. And I want his character to call another character who he has used in the past for information. One of the problems that I had, I think, is that I didn't really know what their background was, what their backstory was, and that was another thing that Jefferson and Darce challenged me to figure out. So what I have here is pre-figuring out what their backstory is. So I'm just going to read this part of the script, and then we'll work through making some adjustments. I don't know if we'll make it all the way through, but I want to try this exercise and see how it helps. Exterior Fernsby's SUV day. Traveling, Kent pulls out of the parking lot while holding his laptop up to his ear. When he hears the fan stop, he stuffs the laptop into its bag. Kent, not the usual suspects. He struggles to plug in plug his phone into the car while taking a sloppy turn. This is for reals. Kent gets the car back in his lane and drives silently for a bit. Kent. Okay, Google, call Dr. Reisman. The phone rings once, then a woman answers. Dr. Reisman. Kent? Kent. Oh, hey, Monica. How's the baby? Dr. Reisman. I can't do this. Kent. What? Dr. Reisman. She only cries when she needs something. Kent. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Reisman. It's fine. She's cute, and one day she'll grow out of it. Kent. Ouch. This flu, is it bad? Dr. Reisman. I'm serious. I can't do this. Kent. What? Dr. Reisman. I am not at liberty to discuss details regarding the... It's not the flu. Kent. So it's bad. Dr. Reisman. I cannot legally have this conversation with you. Kent pulls up at the Fernsby's house. His children, Travis and Emily, are still playing hide-and-go-seek tag with Sage and Walker. He parks. Kent. Okay, thanks. I gotta pick up my kids. Dr. Reisman. Good idea. You do that. Kent. Okay. Dr. Reisman. Okay. Dr. Reisman hangs up. Kent sits for a moment, watching the children play. He notices Heather sitting on the porch. Kent. Good idea. Kent turns off the car and opens the door. Kent. To pick up my kids? And that's the end of the scene. Okay. Reading that out loud right now didn't feel as bad as it has felt in the past, but that doesn't mean it's good. I wish I could ask you, dear viewer, what your opinions were, because I'm sure they would be very valuable right now. But it actually felt a little bit better. But I wonder if it feels better because I actually took some time to figure out what the backstory is. And I based the backstory, well, I'm not going to tell you what I based it on. It's personal-ish, not all of it's personal, but some of it's personal, as I find that helpful to have a context, a personal experience to relate it to. But the backstory is that Kent and Dr. Reisman dated in college very briefly one summer. Then he left to go work on some project that was very important to him for a year. And the next thing he knows, she's dating his best friend, even though they kind of were a thing, although not officially, although he thought they were. And anyway, so he's really hurt by this. And then goes on to get over it really quickly and tell her about it, which hurts her in turn. So this is kind of messy backstory of love and friendship that didn't last very long. But I think she feels some sense of I don't know, she feels a little bad for how things played out, while at the same time feeling hurt and feeling like he's never really made it right to her. But he reconnects with her at some point because she is a doctor in the Air Force. Now, if the person who this story is based on happens to be watching this, if you have anything you need to talk about with me, just to clarify whatnot, feel free to give me a call. Hopefully it's not too identifying, although I did maybe punch it too close to him, but I'm not going to tell anybody else how that is. Anyway, so because of her role in the government and in medicine, she gets called on periodically as a really good source for anything related to government, military, or especially medicine. So there's a bit of an overlap there. So I think that in this call, he's calling once again. He wants something. He only really calls when he wants something. She liked him all right. Maybe thought he was a bit of an odd cookie. Not exactly wanting a romantic relationship with him. I don't know. Maybe we could pretend that there's a little bit of something there, the wondering. But she's also moved on. She's had a baby. So it's not a real thing. Anyway. Lost my train of thought there. It's the problem with writing too close to home, is suddenly you're like, well, I wonder. Anyway, so let's do this. Kent pulls out of the parking lot while holding his laptop up to his ear. When he hears the fan stop, he stuffs the laptop in his bag. Not the usual suspects. I am going to skip that. Okay, Google, call Dr. Reisman. Yes, okay. So how do we do this? Let's just create a new line of, let's do Shift Enter to make a new line of dialogue. Kent? This should be an easy one. She's basically saying hello. She's not really surprised that it's him. Why did I put it that way? Maybe it shouldn't be a question mark. That's already some help. Look at that. I analyzed it and I'm starting to wonder. Oh, hey, Monica. How's the baby? Okay, so Shift Enter and in bold. I'm surprised. What's he think? I wasn't ready for you to answer so quickly. I feel awkward that I always only call when I need something. I'm trying to show interest in your personal life. See, I remember you had a baby. I think that's what he's saying. I wasn't ready for you to answer so quickly. I feel awkward that I only call when I need something. I'm trying to show interest in your personal life. See, I remember you had a baby. Wow, wouldn't it be funny if we performed it this way? All right, so here's a fun one. I can't do this. What the heck does that mean? Jefferson, no, I can't give you the credit for this one, buddy. Darce was the one who said, there's so many things she could mean here. Can't do this. It could be that she's struggling with being a mom with a young baby who is fussy and keeps her up at night. It could be that she's saying, I can't do this relationship with you, Kent. Maybe it's too emotionally hard for me, or I'm just annoyed that you're always calling when you need something. It could be, I can't legally do this, which we get to. That is in fact true. So what is it that she means? I can't do this. Oh, crud. I think that when I wrote that, I was thinking about she can't do these phone calls because she doesn't know what he's calling about. Or does she? Does she know that he's calling? I think actually I wanted her to kind of have a premonition of what he was calling about, and she's kind of leading with, let's try that. I think you're calling about the virus, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. I guess we can write them all. I'm also annoyed that you only call when you need something. I think those are the things I had in mind when I wrote that. So Kent is, I think he's surprised by this. I think he actually genuinely thought that his small talk would seem friendly and personal. But she's just like, I can't do this. So he gets blindsided by how quickly she answers, which has some meaning. Why did she answer so dang quickly? Maybe she wanted to talk to him. Maybe she was excited, or maybe she just picked it up quick. I don't know the answer to that. What? I can't do this. I think that he would assume in that moment that she's just talking about their relationship. So maybe by what he's like, I'm surprised that my attempt at connection wasn't enough. think he's explained why you can't do this. Explain why you can't do this. Okay, that's not a question, that's a statement. She only cries when she needs help. Oh, when she needs something. So I definitely had this idea of the multiple meanings, double entendres. That's such a fun word. Maybe even triple. She only cries when she needs something. Clearly, I was thinking when I wrote that she's saying, I can't do this. I think you're calling about the virus, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. I'm also annoyed that you... I think the first one is, I'm annoyed that you only call when you need something. The baby is a lot of work. I'm not sure about this one. I'm starting to double guess that. Let's set that one. Parenthetical. I'm surprised that my attempt at connection wasn't enough. Explain why you can't do this. See, that's two. I think Kent's got more of an emotional one. He really thinks that she will. Like he's expecting this. I think he's aware. On the one hand, he's aware that she feels this way, but on the other hand, he's always gotten what he needed. Adjust this chair. I think it's been sliding down. Look at that. Gotta have just the right amount of headroom. She only cries. Oh wait. I'm surprised that my attempt at connection wasn't enough. Well, what if he's surprised? Are you dumping me again? I mean, that could be part of it. That's getting into the rewrite context, but I think I'm gonna leave that. It's an interesting idea. She only cries when she needs something. Okay, this is definitely Dr. Reisman talking about Kent. She's saying, you are like the baby. You only cry when you need something. I find this tiresome. Kent is like, yeah. I think he's like, interesting. That is what babies do. And then down here, he's realizing what she's saying about him. Wait, you're saying I'm a baby? So I think when he says I'm sorry, he's genuinely like, I'm sorry, but is it genuine? Maybe it's an I'm sorry, you feel that way. I don't think it's quite that rude. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm sorry, I make you feel that way. Okay. All right, so I'm sorry I make you feel that way. Man, maybe I am good at adult dialogue. It's funny because I'm kind of liking some of this stuff, just seeing it break down. It's fine, she says. She's basically saying it's okay. Our relationship can continue. She's cute, and one day she'll grow out of it. It's just that there's nothing to hope for in our friendship. / relationship. I think she's also saying it will always only be one way. It's fine. I don't know if she's actually saying it's okay. I don't think she's really saying that. I think the "it's fine" is about the baby. So I think she's saying, I have something to look forward to with the baby, but with you, there is nothing to hope for. Yeah. It'll always be one way. Okay. I think Kent totally picks up on this. At least that's how I've written it here. You hurt my feelings again. I think he's actually saying, yeah, I think he's saying this. You hurt my feelings again. Like, ouch. I feel pain. Actually, let's write it that way. I feel pain over the way you are characterizing me. But let's move on to the important stuff. So here he's saying, I know you know about the flu. I know you know what flu I'm talking about. Is it worse than the government is saying? I think that's getting kind of deeper subtext, but that is the question that's in his head when he asks us. That's what he's angling for. So here Dr. Reisman is, I think, I'm serious, I can't do this. She is serious, I can't do this. She's actually using previous conversation. This is where that third meaning comes in. I'm serious, I can't do this. She's actually kind of disowning the whole thing they just had. I wasn't talking about you. I was saying I can't talk about the flu. That's what she's saying. It's not true. She was talking about both, but I think that she did pick up on this bit up here. So that's interesting. Okay. So Kent's blindsided by this because I'm serious, I can't do this. I wasn't talking about you. I was saying I can't talk about the flu. I think Kent's actually like, I think you were talking about me. And he's asking, why can't you talk about the flu? So here she's like reciting something that she's been told to say if anyone asks about it. I think this is just that. Legal recitation, blah, blah, blah. Oops. So here I think she's basically going, I wasn't told to not talk about a flu. Chimney either. I wasn't told to not talk about the flu. I was told to not talk about the MERS. I think this is like a little legal loophole. MERS-2 virus. This is not a flu. Please understand. I think this is where she actually is doing what he said, where let's talk about what's important. She's shifting into the let's talk about what's important. And I can't talk about it, but I can give you this little hint that it's not the flu, okay? It's not the flu. So she's thinking this bit. So I was told to not talk about something. Let's take this out because she can't. Something worse. She's not actually saying I was told to not talk about MERS-2. It was something worse. This is not the flu. Kent reads between the lines just fine. This is not the flu, so it's bad. So this is where Kent is doing this. So MERS-2 is bad. Is worse than the government is reporting. And I think here's where she's really uncomfortable. I think that's what's happening. I'm really uncomfortable talking about this because I'm really not supposed to. I'm worried I might get caught. I think she's thinking all these things. I think she's also saying, I want you to know this is so important. They've put a gag order on me. Boom. Kent pulls up the Fernsby's house. His children, Travis and Emily, are still playing hide and go seek tag with Sage and Walker. He parks. Kent, okay, thanks. I gotta pick up my kids. Oh, Kent. What are you thinking here? I don't think he's satisfied. With the level of information you've shared. But I guess I appreciate the little bit you hinted at. I recognize this is all I'm getting. I think that's actually what he's saying. I gotta go. He's not really, it doesn't really matter about the kids. Like he says that, but it's really just that he realizes he's not gonna get anything else. And he's done with the awkward conversation, maybe. So what the heck is happening here? Good idea. Good idea. This line I don't like. There needs to be a better way. What if we just change this? Let's wait just a second. Nope. If you got the idea in your head, put it down while you still can. What if she just straight up says, I think that's a really good idea. You should do that. I like that better. Because why would she spend, like, that would be weird if you call someone and you're like, hey, I gotta go get the kids, and they're like, that is a good idea. You should do that. You should make sure you do that. I think that's a really good idea. Keep them close. What if she said that? I feel like that she's trying to see, okay, so what if her phone is bugged? She's being listened to, okay? She's already probably said too much in some respects, but she can't, I don't know, I think she's still trying to play it safe. I think that's a really good idea. The stuff you picked up on is real and has and presents a tangible threat to your family. I think that's what she's saying. I think that's what that means. Okay. I think Kent hasn't realized that. Okay. I think I need to add a parenthetical. I don't get why you are saying this. Weird. Okay. I think Dr. Reisman's like, I've done the best I can. For you. And hang up. All right, so we're like going on 20 minutes into this video. I need to get home, it's late. I think I'm gonna let this simmer too. This is fascinating stuff. I already like it, but maybe next week I can read what comes out of this. But I like it because it's a kind of breakdown, I guess. I find these tools, they take a problem in script writing from the kind of ethereal world of thought and imagination and put it into a concrete, like, what's really going on here? Like, let's talk through it. It's not that you have to present it that specific way, but I guess it moves it into a domain where intentionality can play a role in defining what the script becomes. And I really like that. I have a breakdown for this section that talks about what gets accomplished, you know, things like Kent finds out that the virus is worse, like, or gets it confirmed. I think it might just be that. I'd have to go look, but there's this deeper level of intentionality. What does Kent want? That's a good question too. I think he wants to find out if the virus is, if these rumors he's hearing are true or not. He suspects they are, and he really wants Dr. Reisman to confirm that. What does Dr. Reisman want? I think she wants, she doesn't want to be used. She wants to help him. I think she believes in what he's doing or sees a value in what he's doing, but she also doesn't want to be just used by him. Like, either we're kind of equal partners in this, which we're not, therefore we should at least have some kind of a friendship. You don't only call when you need something. I don't know. There's probably some work there too. Anyway, Darce Jefferson, if you watch this, weigh in. How'd I do? Is this the tool you were envisioning? Because if not, wow, it's going to be even better. Anyway, that's all for tonight. Thanks for tuning in to Bootstrap Cinema. Pulling myself up 1 week at a time. Yeah. I feel like I want something catchy to say at the end, you know, just like, And now, but I have no clue. Even saying bootstrap cinema sounds really corny. The truth is, I wish that people were like subscribing and then I don't care about the subscriptions. I want feedback, you know? But I also don't want to publicize. It's like I don't want to work for it. I don't want to ask people to watch this video because I know they're long and it's me talking, and I'm probably the only one that's actually fascinated enough by this to watch it again. But if anybody does, like seriously, please weigh in. I'd love to hear different perspectives on this. I'm a rookie. I'm learning and I'm having a blast. But yeah. Have more of a blast if you told me what your observations were. That's it. Ciao.